Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel for a car event. Today we are back in Indianapolis for the Mecum Car Auction. We were here about 3 years ago for the 2021 Mecum Auction, and I decided, you know what, it's time to make another video to see what cars are here once again. So let's go ahead and take a look around and see what we can find. And right off the bat, we've got a really special looking Bentley called the Bentley Bacalar Roadster. Very rare, I believe, but it's kind of interesting in that they probably took like a Bentley Continental and changed the looks of it a little bit, but it's only a two-seater with that interesting kind of roof in the back. And according to the sign, it's saying number 12 of only 12 vehicles produced for the entire world. This only has 120 miles on it. Twin turbocharged 6-liter W12 engine. It's pretty special that Bentley has their W12 engines. They're very well renowned. Unfortunately, those engines are actually starting to go away, and Bentley is moving towards just V8s for their cars in the future, but that makes this car all the more special. And this is honestly a Ferrari unlike any other that I've ever seen. Let's take a look and see what this says. This is probably worth over $1 million according to the sticker. Ferrari 275. Now this is one of the strangest looking Corvettes I've ever seen. Don't know what's going on with this. Is that storage? Okay, the interior looks pretty normal. Chevrolet Corvette pickup. George Prentice of GM Design and Styling, predecessor to the Corvette-inspired Chevrolet SSR. Now I'm sure it's rare. Very interesting. I do love the looks of these Buick Rivieras from the 60s. Absolutely gorgeous styling. 2,122 Super Wildcats produced. It's too bad this sticker covers up all the other details, but 64. Man, I love the dashboard. Such an inviting looking interior. And we'll check out the rear end. And it's sitting right by a split window Corvette C2. Some sort of a Datsun here, interesting. And another Corvette C3. And there's kind of a mix of modified vehicles over here, some Mustangs. Bunch more of those split window C2 Corvettes. We saw a bunch of those in Kissimmee at the Mecum Auction there. And I believe this is a Packard. Let's take a look. Packard 120. Convertible. Kind of a nice maroon interior. Looks like it's all been redone at some point. And my father is here joining us once again. He was in the Kissimmee video with the Mecum Kissimmee in Florida, and here once again joining me. And he always has a nice wealth of knowledge, so we'll see what, we'll test Sometimes. You today, ask you questions on a few things. So whenever you want to say something about a car, just let me know and we'll put you in the video.
And I got my JW Review hat and JW Reviews
wow, look at
shirt.
That.
So
yeah, we're matching.
Promoting.
Yeah.
We're matching so people know JW Reviews. Subscribe.
Let's take another look at the Riviera. Oh wow, I didn't notice that before. Is that for like an AC? Or maybe that's an addition that the owner made because they have some new dials there and stuff.
Well, but it's got the Buick emblem to it. I
don't know.
You know what, Dave?
That's a tissue box there? Oh, wow.
Wow.
Oh, cool.
There we go. Thank you.
Learned something new. This is a Lexus LC500, I believe.
That's a nice
relatively new car. Yeah, I've heard very good things about them. The wheels are obviously aftermarket. Yep, LC500 Coupe 21. Oh, and you got a whole row of Ford GTs. Of course, from the mid-2000s. These really shot up in value back about 4 or 5 years ago or so, right after COVID. Here's a Studebaker. This would have been towards the end of the line for them. But I still like the looks of this car. It doesn't quite have the same stature and stance as the bigger Packards from back in the early 20th century. But this still looks nice. And these are Nissan GTRs over here. 21. These are still pretty neat cars. They've gotten more and more expensive over the years and haven't changed a whole lot since they came out in the early 2010s. Now this is an interesting looking Ferrari. It really doesn't look like a Ferrari just because it's kind of a bigger rounded car, I guess, a little bit more of a four-seater, but it's still a coupe though. One of 4 passenger 2+2 Berlina bodies built by Ghia. Number 23 of 35. Wow. Now, is that the heater in the center of the car, do you think?
I bet it is.
Funny looking. I have never seen anything like this. A couple Camaros here, Z28s. Man, there are more Corvettes than anything else here. It's amazing. Take a quick look at the collector edition Camaro. We actually did see one of these in Florida at the Kissimmee show once again, but still pretty neat to see just because it's one of the last Camaros and the kind of final send-off. This one still has the plastic on the seats, it looks like. The paint scheme is actually pretty awesome. I mean, I don't usually like matte finishes, but I do like the looks of this particular finish. It's kind of cool. They got the Panther on the rear wing. It's sad to see the Camaro gone. Probably will come back as some sort of an electric car. I did see that Ford's CEO, Jim Farley, did mention recently that the Mustang will have a V8 for as long as possible and will not go electric, although they already have the Mustang Mach-E. But it would be cool to see GM come up with another new generation of the Camaro just because it does deserve it. Must have, oh, a Porsche rear engine. Looks like this thing's made for racing. Oh, it's a replica. Okay. If I was to get a Z06, this would be pretty similar to the spec that I would get. I wouldn't want the bigger wing. I just think that wing looks really good. And I do like the colored kind of wishbone style air intake there. The black, it stands out a little bit more. Still, this is like the car to get as far as having a Ferrari experience without having to spend Ferrari money or a Ferrari service bill. I think that says Stanley. Was that a steam-powered car?
Check it out. That might be a steam car.
Let's take a look. It's huge lights on the front. That's funny. Let's see. Is that where water goes in? 1906 Stanley Vanderbilt Cup Racer replica. One of three built in the late 1990s by friends Win Howard and Robert Buck Boodman of Battle Creek, Michigan. They built it. I don't understand. Okay, so it's a replica. That makes sense. Okay. I don't know how you build one of these things. I mean, it certainly looks neat. It has some canisters over there, copper.
We would have Jay Leno show us how to start it.
Yeah, good idea.
Anyway, it's very complicated. That's not one of those things you'd be able to just hop in and go for a ride.
Yep.
It's got to build the steam up, so you can't be in a hurry.
That's a good point. It has another tank back here, but I don't know what that would be for. Maybe it's something to burn to make the steam, I guess. I've got the Duesenberg over here. And this might actually be one as well, but let's take a look at both of these at the same time. Let's start off with the one on the left. Let's see. Oh, this is a Packard. 1932 Packard, twin 6 coupe roadster. Beautiful looking. Very cool. But the Duesenberg is definitely the car to have. And we've seen a lot of these on the channel. We saw in Auburn, Indiana, and we were there for their parade. A bunch of Cords, Auburns, Duesenbergs, all of those cars. That was quite the experience. Closer look at the front end. We'll take a look at the window sticker as well, in case if you guys want to see a little bit more info. Model J Legrand Blind Quarter Brome. That's quite the name. Beautiful interior with the brushed aluminum or the brushed metal on the dash.
Like the mirror in the back, like our Series 6.
Yeah, and it looks like it has little buttons or something. Is that some sort of control? Yeah, light?
And a cigarette lighter there too.
Yep, you gotta have a cigar or a cigar lighter. Yep. Ferrari 458. 599, I believe. Is that what the model? Let me see what the name of this is. 599, yeah, GTB Fiorano. It's got to be one of the first Buicks out there. Man, and the circular windshield. Such teeny tiny seats. I don't know how anyone could have ever fit in them. But the thing is, most people, including me, would not know how to drive this car. All those levers and everything else. It's just so different from today's cars. Buick Model 16 Roadster 1910. So simple looking. You can even see all the wiring. Look at all that. The springs for the pedals. It's kind of cool. You can see actually the wood grain on the back there.
Nice looking look.
Yeah, it's beautiful. So my dad was talking to an employee here who spoke a little bit about these Corvettes that are rolling in. And what exactly did he tell you, Dad?
He said the man is selling part of his collection, and he's selling one Corvette from every year from the start of Corvette all the way through, and that's what they have lined
so
up here.
For one Corvette for every year, that's like how many Corvettes? Like
well,
70, 60?
Yeah, they started
70,
in 50,
yeah.
70,
53 or so. So that's going to be that's a lot of Corvettes.
That's a lot of Corvettes.
But he still probably has more left in his collection.
That's my understanding. He's not selling his entire collection. He's just selling one car from every year of Corvettes.
That's amazing. Tons of muscle cars in here, that's for sure. Rally International, okay. These are probably pretty cheap trucks for back in the day too, I would think.
They were, yeah.
And now they're probably worth a lot of money. Who would have thought? This is pretty cool. I'm gonna take a look at the Z28 5th gen Camaro. HPE 650 powered by Hennessy. Okay, so Hennessy has tuned this thing. Too bad the windows are so tinted I can't see the inside, but love the looks of the hood scoop. These Z28s I don't even think came with the radio or air conditioning if I'm correct, just to save on weight. Pretty cool cars actually. Okay, now we're gonna go outside and check out some of the tents. Got a huge fairgrounds here, so there's quite a lot of ground to cover, but we will do it. We will see what is here. And of course I couldn't pass up taking a look at an XLRV, being an owner. Of course the supercharged North Star. It's gotta be a 2008 because it has the newer steering wheel. And what surprises me about this car is just how comfortable it is, and it is also very fast. But as you can see, this one's been in the sun a little bit. Some of the rubber seems to be worn. High bid to 25.
So why 101,000 miles on it?
Yeah, it's higher mileage, a little rougher, so.
Well, 101,000 miles. We've never seen an XLRV with 101,000 miles.
Yeah, they don't come up too often, so I guess that's a good sign.
Showing that even with 101,000 miles, it still gets
25.
Selling bid 25.
Yeah, Mercedes here has a V12. Is that like a S-Class coupe? Is that what they called those back in the day?
Probably a 600. So let's see what it says.
Clinton, New York, 1993 Mercedes-Benz 600 SEC coupe. I'm guessing it's more for top speed on the Autobahn versus complete performance or whatever. Kind of hard to see, but it has an armrest back there and even controls for the windows, headrest, storage area, I think, too.
And this pops up when you're backing up to be able to see the fenders.
Oh, see how far back you are. Yeah. That's neat. What does it say? Portina? Partina?
I might say like Pontiac.
Oh, Pontiac. Yeah. It's hard to tell. Like cursive lettering, they don't teach that stuff in schools anymore.
Yeah, you don't know that anymore.
But yeah, you're right. Yeah, very interesting color combo. Yeah, I guess it is kind of grayish green with the pink. Maybe or is that considered gray? I don't know. Yeah, I think it's kind of hard to tell. Also take a look at the 3rd gen CTS-V here. It's Callaway. Had done some work to this car apparently. Of course, all of these were automatics, but still with that 6.2 liter V8 engine, these are definitely special cars. Really cool Recaro seats on the interior. And I like how the CTS even had the window shade for the bigger window and the smaller one. So you could kind of keep the back seat nice and cool or out of the sun or whatever. Today's Cadillac sedans don't have that. Oh, and look at that Rolls Royce. See if,
I don't think that's a Rolls. Is that a Rolls?
I think it is. We'll take a closer look once it parks. But yeah, that Lincoln looks cool. I don't know. Well, yeah, let's check out this Escalade. This thing is, this would be pretty cool to have. I think it's like a 2014. Let's see, 2013 Escalade ESV limousine, custom 20-inch stretch with a raised roof built by Becker Automotive Designs for the Baltimore Ravens. Oh, that's cool. Original build cost of $339,000. You can see they stretched where the B-pillar normally would be, lengthened the second row door, and I guess added a window in the back. I'm not sure what this is. Yeah, this does look interesting. Got curtains in the back, that's pretty sweet. I guess a little keyboard and a computer. You can write up stuff on your way to your next football game. Wow. I don't know what that does. That probably controls some of the curtains and whatnot. Yeah, this would be a pretty decent way to travel. And the roof is obviously higher too. They got that satellite thing up there. Yeah, this is pretty interesting. Yeah, European headlights on the SL. In tan or beige interior. I was impressed when driving one of these for the video how comfortable they were. And, you know, back in the day, you know, they were kind of sports cars, but they were also meant to be comfortable, of course. But roadsters, yeah.
Mercedes didn't call it a sports car; they called it a roadster.
Ah,
or whatever that's.
I like that term. And this is a Chrysler Windsor. Little teeny tiny exhaust.
I think that was a high-end Chrysler.
High-end Chrysler. Newport. And we saw something pretty special over here. Figured I might as well take a quick look at it before it's gone. It's the Tesla Cybertruck. And these things, when they first came out, not that long ago, when they first started auctioning, for like $250,000 or so. Now the value is dropping back down to probably where it should be.
What is this ugly thing?
A Tesla Cybertruck, all electric. It's like a moving triangle. And that's going to be a sharp angle. I will say, with the stainless steel exterior, it would really hurt if you get into a wreck with one of these things. Well, these are pretty hard to manufacture, and because it's all stainless steel, you know, pressing it, it's hard to keep the shape of the metal. One really long windshield wiper blade, and what's kind of funny is that the end of it's all like floppy. It's just so goofy looking. But this is the kind of vehicle that defines an era. It's kind of like the Lamborghini Countach, just a car that stands out and looks weird. It's just gonna at some point probably be one of those vehicles. Kind of cool to see one in person though, I will admit. And over here we have a Mercedes SL, C7 Corvette Stingray, and a regular XLR. But it is interesting to compare the design of the SL versus the XLR. The real sharp edgy style, and kind of a more rounded look for the SL. We'll take a quick look at this. Looks like it's in good shape. 2006. Yeah, looks to be in good shape. Either a Mercedes 420 SEL or 500, or was it 560 at the time?
This is before the 560s.
Is it? Okay.
This could be a 6.9. This was at the time
The fastest sedan in the world, right?
Correct. But fastest production sedan in the world when they had the 6.9 liter, and it was also had the air ride suspension like their 600 limousine and stuff. So
Wow.
And it would adjust if you're going really fast. It would lower down.
Lower down. Now it says 6.8 liter V8 engine, but it should have been a 6.9, right?
Must be a
So I wonder why they did that. Yeah. Only a 3-speed automatic transmission.
Yes, that's all they did. So this could cruise for a long period of time at very high rates of speed on the Autobahn.
Everything looks perfect. I wonder if it was redone at all, or what the deal is.
Museum or something? Or
Yeah, maybe.
collector?
Yep, and the manual mirrors, of course, that's normal. A lot of stuff wasn't power on Mercedes because it would go bad, or they thought they
Same
would
with
break.
power seats.
Whoa, that's an amazing feeling. I don't know why, but every single one of these Lincolns we see, it has these weird aftermarket wheels that just don't make sense. I'm guessing this has air ride suspension and maybe it just went flat on one side. Maybe a leak. It's too bad that so few of these are kept stock. Bentley.
It's not a Rolls Royce, is it?
I guess it's not, but it certainly looks very similar, doesn't it?
Similar is not the same.
I guess not. I admit I was wrong. Still, either way, it does look like Rolls-Royce-y, doesn't it?
Very similar.
Oh, it has seatbelts in the back, I think. That's got to be an add. They added those in. 1956. It looks older than 56, doesn't it? But American cars, they seem to have, like, you know, advanced their styling so much quicker than the European vehicles. Looks like my dad found a Rolls-Royce Phantom. This was probably one of the first model years. This is an older model, probably from like 2004 or so. But it is a huge car, that's for sure. The seats look so soft and inviting. The mirror in the back. Even has a little screen on the headrest there. Maybe watch a DVD movie or something. Picnic tables, of course, and very tufted, soft floor mats as well. We found a really interesting looking Cadillac here. Wow. Yeah, not really my style. Someone certainly did put a lot of money and effort into this thing. The matte black finish and the crazy looking hood. Who knows what they did underneath the hood. Custom Roadster. Ground up restoration and customization. Permanent convertible. No top. That's interesting. 8.1 liter. That's huge. Fuel injected big block V8 engine. 4-speed.
I don't think there are windows.
It's blocked off. I think there aren't any windows. And it said they removed the top too, so it doesn't have a functioning top.
Always just having in perfect weather, it'd be all right.
Yeah, I guess so. And this Cadillac looks, must have been owned by the same guy as the other one. Known as Bad Cad. It sure is bad, if you know what I mean. Oh, goodness gracious. They even added some sort of a digital display for the gauges. Let's check this one out, see what we got. 1941 Cadillac Series 62 convertible, 346 cubic inch V8 engine, 3-speed manual. Okay, and it looks like it is 3 on the tree. I did actually get to drive a Cadillac last summer. I believe I did make an Instagram post, which you guys can follow me on Instagram if you'd like, JW Reviews. But anyways, I did get to learn finally how to drive 3 on the Tree. Not exactly great at it, but it was pretty fun. And it also was interesting driving a Cadillac from this era. It is truly different from pretty much any other era I have driven, obviously, but very simple compared to cars from today. And it's kind of neat to see what things really were like back in the 40s. And that is a beautiful looking car too. So that makes it all the better to drive. There are a good amount of Jaguars here, but definitely more Corvettes than anything else, I would say. A lot of Corvettes. There's another beautiful red Ferrari. F12 Berlinita. It's probably about 10 years old or so. 2016. 2,900 miles. Man. So I got that slug bug over there just to let you guys know where the standings are. So I have 5 points now to my father's 3. He caught up to me by getting another old slug bug. I haven't gotten any of this on camera yet, but right now 5-3. I'll let you all know where the standings stand later. Go take a look at this Corvette over here. Oh, it's a pace car. That's pretty cool. 2004 Chevy Corvette Daytona pace car. It's pretty neat. 1 of 3 produced. There's a little bit more info on that sign there if you guys can read it. Red, white, and blue Daytona 500 pace car livery. That's a neat piece of history. Kind of a strange looking car. It almost looked like a late 90s Eldorado from the front at first. 92 Aston Martin Virage Coupe. 1 of 93 imported to the US. 1 of 411 hand-built Virages. All aluminum bodywork. 5.3 liter V8 engine. Very interesting style. I've never seen one of these before. The styling of Aston Martins has changed so much since this car came out. It just doesn't look like one to me. And this car here is pretty interesting. It's a 420R Bentley. And Bentley did make an R version of their sedan back then. But this is a coupe, obviously. It has a turbocharged V8 engine. It has a really wide flare for the back wheels. That's kind of interesting. Apparently this is number 16 of 18 produced. All right, now we're gonna head into the Blue Ribbon Pavilion and see what's in there. If I remember correctly, the last time I was here, there were some pretty nice cars in this particular building. We got a nice Buick over here. Let's see, a Buick Wildcat. I do love the Wildcat name. I hope that Buick brings that name back. It'll probably end up being something electric if they do, but they did have that beautiful Wildcat concept. I think that thing is just absolutely gorgeous. And using that styling with maybe a coupe with a V8, that would be awesome. And I found a pretty sweet C7 ZR1. Makes over 750 horsepower. Here's a little bit of the window sticker. You can see a little bit, 105 miles. 105 miles, that is nothing. I do like the blue stitching on this particular model on the interior. But I'm really excited though is that soon Chevrolet will be releasing the details on the C8 Corvette ZR1 this summer. So that's coming up pretty soon. But the C7 being that front engine design, it still is so special. May as well take a closer look at a Pontiac for all the Pontiac fans. This one's a 66 GTO hardtop. Let's take a look at this absolutely massive Chrysler 300 convertible. This thing is long. And I don't remember seeing a convertible version of the 300. This thing is absolutely massive. Looks like you got the RPM gauge down there. I don't know if that's stock or not. Maybe some of you guys would know the answer to that. Must have push button transmission. We'll take a closer look at the buttons over there to see what's what. Even says 300 on the door there. That's pretty cool. Now this is a crazy looking motor, I will say. Huh. Does it have 2 carburetors? That's very interesting. Can't say I've seen anything that looks quite like that before. So this is a 1960 Chrysler 300F convertible. I honestly don't know what the F means. 1 of 248 produced. Although this paint is too nice, it has quite the speckle in it. Body restoration, yep, unibody construction. Looks like cross ram intake, dual 4-barrel carburetors. There are 2 carburetors under there. 3-speed auto transmission. Pretty fascinating, that's for sure. And it looks like that's the gear selector there, the push button. Chrysler's did that for quite some time, and it was definitely ahead of its time. I mean, push button transmissions are only coming back now, so it's pretty cool that this one actually came with that from way back when. And it's really cool in the back seat that you actually have an armrest, an ashtray, and of course window switches to open and close the rear windows, but it's neat that there's like a center console armrest in the back. I'm kind of wondering if all these cars belong to the same guy, one collection. At least they all have very similar stickers on the windshield, which might make it a little bit hard to see out of, but I'm sure that the new owners will remove that. Unless if they wanted to show off a little bit at their local car show. And I actually did read a little bit about this particular car, which is a Dale Earnhardt edition for a Chevy Lumina. Let's see what exactly this is. This is number 23 of only 25 examples ever produced. Only 710 miles from new, twin cam, 3.4 liter, 200 horsepower V6 engine. That's probably a lot of power for back in the day. 4-speed auto, special Dale Earnhardt exterior graphic package, and built at Dale Earnhardt Chevrolet in Newton, North Carolina. That's cool. I didn't know that he actually owned a Chevrolet dealership. That's awesome. In today's world, it probably doesn't really offer that much in terms of performance, but still is at least a neat, rare bird. I do also like the vents in the hood, which is pretty awesome. The stickers look cool. I'm guessing all that did come with that exterior package. And I don't see Chevy Luminas that much anymore. These are just normal cars for back in the day. People drove them to and from work. So nice ones are certainly hard to come by, but it's pretty cool that one of these were preserved, and one of only 25, that's pretty special. Check out the back end of this car. It's kind of interesting how far back the engine is underneath the hood. L64. Yeah, I really don't have any idea. Oh, it's a Ghia. Interesting. For Ghias, this is a pretty big car. 1962 L64 Coupe. 28,000 miles, one of only 26 produced by Ghia in Turin, Italy. Sold new in late 1962 to its first owner, a member of the Kuwaiti royal family. Held for some 60 years by its first owner, it was acquired in May 2023 and imported to the U.S., built exclusively to order using a custom chassis. I'm surprised they would import it to the U.S. You'd think that all the people that would know about this car and would be interested would be in Europe. Mark V Lincoln, huh?
Yes, Continental Mark V.
1979 Mark V, 36,900 miles. Highly original, unrestored condition, 400 cubic inch V8. Red Rose Luxury Group, which was a $900 option in 1979. That's a lot of money for back then. Air conditioning, sunroof, temperature gauge, which should be right there. Yep, it is. Yeah, I've never seen a Lincoln with this color combo before, I don't think. Check out on the fender, it must have had the alarm system, yeah. I wonder if it's been repainted. It looks really good. You have an Eldorado Brits here in a very 70s brown color, interior and exterior. 28,700 miles. I think I preferred the yellow Brits a little bit more than this color personally. Nice yellow sedan DeVille. What year do you think? 65, mid-60s? 66, yep. 429 cubic inch V8. Factory air conditioning, that's nice. Tinted windshield, interesting. White interior.
It says 10,000 miles.
Wow. Check out this Oldsmobile 98. I believe it's a 63. Beautiful looking steering wheel. I love the two-spoke design. May 9th, 1963 in Linden, New Jersey. That's awesome. Starfire, Oldsmobile Starfire 345 horsepower V8 engine, 3-speed auto. I do like this era of American cars. And there are a couple Cadillacs over here to show you guys. First off is a 1984 Cadillac Eldorado Baritz, 4.1 liter V8. According to this, there are only 3,300 of these produced, and this is the dark crimson with red interior. But I really like the extra poofy seats, nice looking interior, and the back seats actually look like a pretty comfortable place to be. But what I am more personally a fan of is the last generation of the Cadillac Fleetwoods. This particular one is from 1994, and it has a really nice, interesting kind of shale bluish gray exterior color. This one looks pretty good, but surprisingly it has over 130,000 miles, which is quite a lot. And I think that the 96s or the 95s had a different style center console. For whatever reason, the older ones had that style. But we, of course, as you all probably remember, we did review a 96 Fleetwood Brougham, and that was a beautiful car, and I absolutely loved it. And what's nice is that the chrome here is in really good shape too. Usually this bubbles up, and I don't see any rust or dings. But for 130,000 miles, this would be a nice car to even daily drive. And for all the Volkswagen Bug enthusiasts, I'll show you this particular Bug, which I did get the points for. So now I'm up to 7 versus 3. My dad has 3, so I'm in a comfortable lead. But we still have a whole other section over there to go through yet. This is a 79, it does look a little older. Super Beetle convertible, fresh cosmetic restoration, 1600cc flat 4-cylinder engine, that's cool. And over here is a Toyota Century. So this is the nicest, most luxurious Toyota you could buy. And Toyota's actually kind of brought back the Century name. They're actually now, I believe, building some sort of a SUV Century. This one has a 4-liter V8, L-type long wheelbase, that's pretty awesome. Reclining and massaging rear seats. That's pretty cool for 1995. And of course in Japan, the cars drive on the left side of the road, so it has the steering wheel over on the right. I don't know, it even has more controls there. Oh, and that's neat looking. The green light right around the ignition. The awesome curtains. Of course, all the writing here is in Japanese, so I can't tell what any of this stuff actually does. I wish I knew what they did, but tons of legroom. I'm impressed that it has massaging rear seats for 1995. That's really ahead of its time. It's definitely a stately and sleek looking sedan. This Rolls-Royce is special. It doesn't even have a roof or any sort of compartment really for the front people. Huge front grille. Now you can put a little roof up top, it looks like, so it probably clips in there. But I'm surprised there's no like divider window for those in the back, so it's almost like, why even have the separated compartment looking thing? 1937 Rolls-Royce Phantom 3 Sedanka DeVille, one of only 727 produced, and it even has the turn signals, in the side of the car. That's funny. Corvette here is actually 1953, the first year for the C1. One of only 300, unrestored original. The seats are actually in fantastic shape. Now this Bentley has a really beautiful color to it. Bentley Arnage Red Label Sedan, one of 64 left-hand drive models made. Lots and lots of legroom and little screens in the headrest. Yeah, maybe that is for wine, glasses. 1, 2, 3, 4, and the other seat probably has that too. Yeah, 4 crystal champagne chalices, 2 crystal shot glasses, 2 crystal decanters. That's what those little round things are for. And aluminum foot pedals that are drilled. Yeah, those are some interesting looking pedals. I don't know if you can see them. I found a Porsche Carrera GT over here. This is kind of Porsche's supercar for the mid-2000s or so. It's over 600 horsepower. How the back of the car looks with the engine cover there, the hexagonal shapes in the metal. It is a really, really cool car to see, and one of the most special cars from the mid-2000s. This blue car looks pretty impressive. Must be a Ferrari. That color's beautiful. The leather. 63 400 Super America Coupe Aerodynamico. V12 engine, just like all Ferraris should have. And I really like the Lexus LFA V10 engine. Lexus spent a lot of time engineering this car, and it has one of the best sounds of any car out there. It truly is amazing. Okay everyone, we made it through all the cars at the 2024 Mecum Indianapolis car auction. I saw a lot of really neat stuff. I loved all the Cadillacs, the V-Series cars, the limousines, but I also did enjoy all the Corvettes we saw and muscle cars. Hopefully you guys saw something that you enjoyed as well. Please comment below what you liked the most. But please remember to also like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you all so much for watching, and please be sure to come back soon for more videos.